Ah, we're so close. Woo! About 6 months ago, I released one of my most popular videos ever, which was overnight bot dump flipping. I also have a video about I'm a cutie pie, which is like my 10th most viewed video of all time. Really weird. Anyways, in that video, I went ahead and flipped bot dump items. Items I thought that bots dumped overnight, really commonly botted items. I did that exactly about 6 months ago now, and I wanted to try it 6 months later to see if I could still make profit. For the most part, I chose the exact same items as the ones I flipped in the summer. I did change some things around, just other items I knew that were botted, but the other ones that I did in the summer that didn't work out so well, I just pretty much tried switching them out with the better ones this time. For example, I switched out nature runes for oak planks, and I switched out U-logs for magic logs, stuff like that. Now, there was a lot of talk on the last video about whether bot dumping was even a thing. I mean, it may have just happened because I left it in for so long that eventually somebody's going to end up selling stuff to me at such a cheap price, or whether me being in the EU time zone at the time, remember I was in Germany when I made that video, if that overnight in EU made a difference as opposed to an NA overnight, if you know what I mean. This time I'm doing the flipping back in America, so my overnight is technically the Eastern time zone in the US. But to basically reiterate what was said in the last video, I'll link it down below if you guys want to watch it again. Pretty much what people are saying is that at night, bots just dump all the items that they have botted throughout the day, which pretty much results in a drop in prices at night, and then in the morning the prices rise again once there's more demand for it and people start waking up and stuff like that. So I just tried it out, and last video I made a very decent profit overnight doing this. I spent like 50 to 60 mil, I believe, in items overnight, and then sold them once I woke up, and I ended up making like 1 to 2 mil a night. I think it was even closer to 2 mil, which was a really good profit and something I wasn't expecting. So without wasting any more time, let's get to the items that I bought on the first night. So I did this for 2 nights just so I knew one night wasn't a fluke. I guess 2 nights isn't even really that great of a test. Usually you should do this for like weeks to be sure that this works every time, but I did it for 2 nights. Last time I figured I'd do it for 2 nights this time. So the first items I bought this time were oak planks, magic logs, green dragon hide, black chinchompas, red chinchompas, and raw sharks. Basically what I do is I find their buy prices, and then based on that buy price, I usually go like 10 to 15 GP lower depending on the item. If it's more expensive, I go a lot lower. If it's not as expensive, I go a little bit lower. For example, if raw sharks are going for 1100 GP, then I put in the buy price overnight at like 1090 or 1085. Not too low to the point where I know they won't buy, but low enough so that I know when I wake up I'll make at least a decent profit off of it. Last video I managed to buy and sell every single item that I put in an offer for, which I guess was really lucky because this first night I didn't manage to buy any green dragon hide or magic logs, and I only managed to buy half of the red chinchompas. My oak planks, black chinchompas, and raw sharks did in fact buy as well as half of the red chinchompas. Now, I don't know if that's because the items themselves they didn't go down overnight, or it's because my prices were a bit too low. I maybe should have put them a little bit higher and so that they would have bought, but that may have just been my fault. But anyways, the important thing is at least some of them bought overnight. The picture you guys see on screen right now is my buy and sell prices of the items that I managed to buy overnight. So the oak planks, black chinchompas, red chinchompas, and raw sharks all bought, and I listed right next to them their buy prices, so the things I bought them at overnight, and then what I sold them at in the morning. My biggest profit margin was the red chinchompa. It was almost 100 GP overnight, which is really, really, really nice. Definitely nice to see, at least on an item like that, when you buy bulk and you see 100 profit margin is really nice. Now, the one I had trouble with was the black chinchompas. I managed to get a really nice profit margin in the beginning, but what I noticed throughout the day, it took about an hour to sell all of them, is that they stopped buying at certain points, so I constantly had to lower the price. Luckily, my beginning profit margin was pretty high, so I could constantly turn down the prices a little bit or put down the prices a little bit and still make a profit off of it. But I had to sell them at 3 different prices, but luckily they all managed to sell at the lowest price of 2,645 GP. All the items that I bought for this night costed 33,175,000 GP, and after selling all of them, I managed to sell it for 34,078,839 GP. If we subtract those two, we can get 903,839 GP profit. So from buying and selling all of those items, I managed to make about 900K overnight, pretty much no effort whatsoever, just putting in the buying and selling prices. So 900K overnight was less than any of the nights from last video, but I still managed to make 900K, which I can't really complain about. Now, last video, I noticed that I spent about 55, 60 mil on all of those items. So for the next night, I sort of wanted myself to spend a bit more because I figured the more I'd spend, the more profit I'd make. If I would have spent more on the last night, the night where I made 900K, the one I just talked about, I probably would have made double that since I only spent 33 mil. But whatever, I made 900K. I can't complain. The second night, we decided to shell out a bit more money. This time, the green dragon hide, Zamorak wines, raw sharks, red chins, and black chins all managed to buy, which was a relief since I spent a lot more money. I was hoping that a lot more would buy. I also made my buy prices a little bit higher than last time just because I was sort of mad that 3 items didn't buy last time, or just actually 2.5 items didn't buy last time. So this time I managed to technically buy 5 items, but as you can see on screen, only about, I don't even know, a fifth or a sixth of the black Chinchompas bought, and then about 4/5 of the, or even 5/6, I'm just trying to throw out fractions out there, of the red Chinchompas bought. But the green D'hide, Zammy Wines, and Raw Sharks all bought, which is great. However, this time the Oak Planks, U-Logs, and Nature Runes didn't buy. Nature Runes, I was surprised at, because usually Runes always buy overnight. I guess my buy price was too low again, so maybe some user error in this, I don't know. But anyways, at least we brought the Zammy Wines and Green Dragonite and Raw Sharks this time, as well as the black and red chins again, which seemed to be a pretty staple overnight bot dump item, I guess. Now with these, I had a bit of an issue, and that was selling them, which is one of the most important parts of trying to make profit off of bot dumping. So you can see on screen that my profit margins weren't even that good. I was only 11 GP profit per green D'hide. In fact, my Zammy Wines crashed overnight. It was really unlucky. Now what I think happened is that a lot of people were using these for ranging potions in order to prepare for raids, and they were going up in price because of that. However, on Twitter, Kieran announced that 96 Herblore wasn't a requirement apparently for raids, so all of a sudden the Zammy Wines were not being bought anymore, were being sold at really low prices since people didn't have to get the 96 herb requirement. So overnight, I think they crashed a lot. Luckily, I managed to sell them at the price I bought them, and that's pretty much what I wanted. I was worried that I'd lose a lot of money off of these, but I made 0 GP profit off the Zammy Wines. Once again, my best profit margin ended up happening with the red Chinchompas. I made 48 GP profit off of those. Wasn't as much as last time, but you can see off the red Sharks, it was only like 8, and then off the black Chins, it was like 24 or something. So really not that much profit off of these. Even though I shelled out a lot more money, not a lot of profit came back, which sucks. That being said, I still did make the profit. So I bought all the items for 45,756,908 GP and sold them for 46,267,495 GP. So that totals 510,515 profit, 515,000 profit. So pretty much half the profit of last time, which sucks, but I guess it's still free GP. So we still did make profit off of both nights, which was great. However, it didn't even come close to the profit we had last time. I don't know what was happening last time. Maybe the economy was more active. Maybe I just got lucky. Stuff like that happens. But this time we only managed to make pretty much half the profit of last time. So if we total up the two profit margins from both days, we get 1,414,354 GP. If we split that in half, that puts it at 707,177 GP. So pretty much 700k average overnight if I do this every night, which if you add it up is quite a lot of money throughout the year. However, as you can see, the 2 nights were pretty different in terms of profit margins, so it really depends on the night and what items you buy and sell. Anyways, guys, if you have any other flipping videos you want me to make, or any of the videos that require merching, I love doing them. I think they're really fun, so make sure to leave those ideas in the comments. If you guys like the video, make sure to drop a like and a comment. Thank you all for the support. We're really close to 100,000 subscribers, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one, and peace.